Hi everyone, and welcome back. In today's Q&A session, I have a question for Sterling that is rather intriguing, and most people do seem to be getting wrong.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Sterling, what is the energetic breakdown of the four elements in physical reality?
Okay. No, you're right. Everybody, a lot of people get this one wrong, and they get it wrong because it's been taught to them wrong on purpose. Okay. When we go for the physical breakdown and the balance, like so for any ceremony, prayer, ritual, whatever you're talking about, in any religious service, okay, we go back to Plato. Okay. Plato said, underneath the moon, the four elements break down to this. Fire are animals. Okay. Air are plants. Metals are water. All crystals and stones are earth. Okay. Now, what you see many people doing is they use liquid for water. They use candles or a flame on a candle for fire. That is incorrect. That is completely unbalanced. Okay. When you go to a church service, the fire is not the candles that they're light on the altar. The fire are the people sitting in the pews. Okay. That's the fire energy of that. Okay. They use incense for the air generally, or there'll be plants. Okay. They'll have some rock, stones, crystals, things out somewhere, or something made of them. Sometimes it's the building is made out of rock, stone. Okay. And then it's not the glass, it's not the water that's in the glass, it's the metal that the cup is made out of that represents the water energy. Okay. You need a balance of metal, you need a balance of a crystal or a stone, you need a balance of some type of a plant, and you need animal energy. Okay. That balances out an altar. That doesn't have to just be people or going out and killing a rabbit, putting a rabbit on your altar. That's no. Okay. Way a long time ago, yep, that's what they did. They would massacre things. It was not a pretty sight. Nowadays, though, and a lot of this we get from Native Americans because they had a whole different outlook on that. They use what we call totem energy. Okay, animal totems, and you can carve them out of stone. A lot of things now are made out of plastic, which is nice because they don't have any other elemental associations with them. If you get one made out of stone, and let's say it's like a tiger and you want tiger energy, you're going to get tiger energy. You can get tiger energy from that totem, but you're also going to get the stone energy that it was carved out of, or wood energy if it was carved out of wood. Plastic, however, does not carry any attributes of its own. Okay, it's a nice one to use. Glass is the same way. Okay, they don't have their own attributes at all.
Okay.
Okay, and especially if you're getting into let's talk about metaphysical cooking, where instead of going for flavor, you're going for the attributes of what you're putting together for it. So you put bay leaves in for a spiritual kick, okay? Mm-hmm. Okay, and you don't have to use the meat of a particular animal in your cooking to do it. You can put a totem into your stew. You can put it into a glass vial, drop that into the stew, as long as the totem has been clean, charged, programmed, and attuned for the particular attributes of the element that it represents. Those elements will infuse into whatever you're doing. It's the same thing with metals. You don't want to start dropping metal into your stew either. Okay, but you can do the same thing. You can put metal into a vial and pop it in there. Same thing with a crystal or a stone. You can do the same thing. Herbs is usually much easier because you can just add them in.
Right.
Okay,
yeah.
and change the flavoring a little bit, spicing it up, things of that nature. But there are some herbs you might want to include that you can't because they're poisonous. Those, again, pop into an airtight glass vial, pop them in. Okay, you don't have to leave them in there for very long. Usually until the stew is ready, you take those out. Okay, let your stew sit for a minute. Let all the energies mix together. Serve it. Okay, you can serve it as an elixir. That's where you get elixirs and potions and that kind of thing. But essentially, it's just cooking. That's really all you're doing.
Okay.
Okay, unless you're popping a spell on it and then and getting into magic stuff. But just for metaphysical cooking, all you're doing is trying to magnify attributes for yourself in what you're eating.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Not to mention that what you're eating is going to give you protein, you're going to give you minerals and things of that nature too. You can put those things in, add that, which is just fine. But if you want metaphysical breakdown, if you want like courage, you can pop lion thing into your stew. Boom, pop some lion energy in there. Get that going. Okay. If you want to magnify your ego, same thing. And ego is not evil. Everybody has to have an ego. If you didn't, you'd never do anything in your life ever. So if you're sluggish, if you're feeling just like you have no energy, you don't want to do anything, oh God, I don't feel like I have no ambition, pop some lion, get some lion energy going. That should get you moving. Anyway, hello,
Right.
how's it going? Curiosity killed the cat energy, anything. That's why we have these things. That's why people accumulate stuff around them, because it gives off energy of that nature. If you're into crystals and stones, remember, metals too. Metals and crystals and stones take energy in. Okay, they do exude energy out, but they're inherently feminine, so they take energy in. Okay, that's generally what most of them do, and because of that, they're going to fill. Okay, they need to be cleaned and charged often, like every 6 months. Best way to charge them, full moon. Best way to clean them, crystal cluster. Okay, there are other ways to clean them. Crystal clusters work the best. Citrine, real citrine will clean. Kyanite will clean. Those are the only two stones that clean and don't have to be cleaned themselves. There are other stones like carnelian that will clean stones, but they also have to be cleaned.
Oh, okay.
A crystal cluster is self-cleaning because the clusters clean themselves, the points.
Okay.
And anything you put on them, they clean. I'd say 12 hours. Okay, and that comes from like Melody's Love is in the Earth book. It's a wonderful book if you can find it. But anyway, those are things that you want to be careful of. Same thing with metals. Metals, crystal cluster will clear metals too. Okay, without inherently giving them energy of the crystal themselves. Crystals will generally, because they suck energy out, will clean just about anything. You don't want to smudge to try to clean crystals and stones, because yes, you can clean the negative energy out of them, but you're also projecting into them all of the energy of the smudge that you're using to clean them.
Okay, so
you're getting
acts as a counterbalance,
Yeah, well, not really counterbalance, but you're getting the attributes of the herb as well as the stone, and you may not want the attributes of the herb into that. You might just want the pure energy of the stone.
Okay. Okay.
Same thing with animal.
Mm-hmm.
You want to do the same thing with those. Put them on a crystal cluster every 6 months. Charge them. If you really want to get in depth with your charging, figure out what the moon is. If it's Scorpio, metals, because it's water. If it's Leo, animals, because it's fire. Okay. Again, if it's Capricorn, crystals and stones, because it's earth. Okay, and continue to do that.
Okay.
The only ones you don't need to clean are herbs. Herbs die.
Fascinating.
That's
Yes,
the problem.
they're plants.
You can't. Yeah,
And
you
they have
to read.
so long of a shelf life. Yes.
Right. The only time you would have to is if it was made out of something else. If it wasn't a real one and it was just a totem, then yes, you would clean them the same way. Like if you had a plastic leaf that you liked, or a plastic representation of a plant that doesn't grow in your area, then yes, you would clean it every 6 months and charge it.
Okay.
Okay. And that you can charge with smudging. Because it's there.
Fair. Fascinating. Yeah.
Plants.
Yeah. It's not gonna.
I would still say use a crystal cluster, but you can, especially if you can find the plant that it is. Because then you're infusing it with the energy that you wanted in the first place. That magnifies it, exponentially. But otherwise, you're gonna be crossing. You're gonna cross hybrid. Essentially, is what you're gonna cross with plants.
Right.
And do you want that? Maybe not.
Yeah, not necessarily.
Otherwise, clean them on a cluster, charge them on a full moon, Aquarius, whatever that is there. You can do that too, separating things.
Okay.
Okay. So.
Interesting.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks for tuning in. And do make sure to like and subscribe. Thank you.